My name is Marcia Ranglin-Vassell, and I am here to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this legislation. I want to begin by acknowledging and praying for the families who have lost loved ones to heinous crimes over these years. I think today, as I introduce what I consider a very uncomfortable bill, but a very important piece of legislation, I recognize that sometimes you have to move out of your comfort zone and do things that you don't normally want to do for the common good. I come to you today as a legislator, but also a full-time public school teacher. I have over 30 years of teaching experience. I began my teaching career in Kingston, Jamaica, and continued along this path of educating children. I bring this up because I believe I have some valuable information about children. I teach ninth graders, and they're 14 and 15 years old. I teach seniors as well as juniors. But I want to talk a little about ninth graders, 14-year-olds, and I know that this bill will impact some students or some juveniles who committed heinous crimes when they were about 14 years old. Sometimes I wonder, who are these people? Because they seem to do some things sometimes that doesn't seem very rational. Sometimes it seems very reckless to me, but I think it has to do with the fact that they're so young. And that's why I think this piece of legislation is so important, because giving a young person who had committed a heinous crime put in prison with no possibility of parole, I think that is essentially a death sentence in prison. Mr. Chairman, I do believe in the power of redemption. I think people have the potential to change. I think a juvenile who have completed at least 15 years should be given the opportunity for, and I must emphasize this, that what this legislation does, it's asking for a hearing. It's not saying that the court should release. It simply say that these juvenile offenders should get a hearing. Mr. Chairman, I urge you, and I urge my fellow legislators, so I thank you for this opportunity to speak, just to give these people, and I think in the state of Rhode Island, it would be about 6 people that would be impacted if this legislation was to become law. So I urge passage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative. Any questions for the sponsor?